grinning and drop your linen. It's time for the Ostranauts patch notes with me, Agent Lonergan. So these are for 0.14.2.8, which was released on Saturday, January 11th, 2025. General changes. Holding the left Alt key will now highlight both nearby interactive objects and UI hotkeys. We added a tutorial step to highlight this new left Alt feature. Loading a save game doesn't use hard drive temp folder anymore. It opens straight into memory. The redacted will now only cross over to a new ship via airlocks. The redacted will now either lie dormant or start disappearing after finishing certain branches of the redacted plot. The list of hull items in the PDA's build menu now has generic wall, floor and doors at the top. Humans no longer get floor bump maps applied to their bare legs or arms. PowerVis lines no longer get stuck on screen when switching ships in the ship editor. Oh, wow, I tied my tongue a few times on that line. I'll tell you, there's not going to be outtakes, no. Racks no longer block light or cast shadows. Stacks of items no longer disappear if something inside the stack changes damage state. Stack item counts update in the inventory correctly now. The version of flirting that is a reply no longer uses the same name as the opening flirtation move. The Mega Tooltip received a visual overhaul to look more consistent with the HUD and be easier to read. The Mega Tooltip correctly shows human faces again. UI tooltips were reduced a bit in size. Several items had their descriptions added or fixed. Deleting a save file on the main menu save list will no longer throw a null reference error. We've added a new tutorial step early on in a new game to teach the user about our highlight interactables and show UI hotkeys features. Many players reporting having an aha moment when they discovered this undocumented feature. Now holding the left Alt key will highlight both of these things. I never knew it was a feature, so I'm going to say aha, because I'm going to probably try that when I go back to my game. We also changed the way we load save files to load them directly into memory instead of uncompressing the zip files into a temp folder on the hard drive first. This might speed up load times for some users, but the main benefit here is fewer hard drive read-write operations, which was important to some SSD users. Many users will also notice the HUD was further reworked, and the Mega Tooltip now shares the same visual style as the rest of the HUD. We also adjusted the style of the condition capsules, also known as tags, for items to be less intense, reserving the brighter capsule colours for more important conditions. The redacted plot received some love as well, and it should now be a little less aggressive when crossing from one ship to another. Plus, finishing the related plot in a few ways can curb its growth and even decimate it. Okay. We noticed some players being annoyed that the wall options in the PDA hull build menu were after a long list of specific floor types. So we moved the generic floor and wall to the top for easier access. So stop complaining. Yeah, exactly. Note that if you aren't picky about which wall or floor to build, or only have loose versions of the ones you want, you can use these without choosing the specific wall model from the longer list. Two minor but possibly annoying visual issues were also finally resolved. The racks no longer block light or cast shadows, and humans no longer have those floor bump maps appearing on them when wearing certain outfits. A few fixes for stacked items also mean fewer lost items, as we discovered and fixed a bug that deleted whole stacks if something in the stack changed state, like became damaged or destroyed. And we reduced the size of the text in a few tooltips which seemed excessively large compared to the rest of the UI. Yeah, that's kind of like what tipped me off that there may have been a game update. And those are your patch notes for the 11th of January 2025. Have a lovely day, take care of yourself, and I'm sure I'll see you on the flip side. And I've no clue why I'm speaking like this. I've just no clue. So I'm gonna go. Dude, what was that, man? You're just gonna go.